Well, thanks for being here. Certainly thrilled with the win. Tough fought game, just like I knew it probably would be. Like many of them before, especially the 32 I've been a part of. But thrilled to get our win. Really proud of our team. Pretty resilient. It kind of took everybody. I thought defense we played really well. Take a few plays away, which you can't do. And we certainly got to clean up some of those. I felt like offensively, just other than some wasted opportunities, too many field goals. A couple of really two penalties in the first half. One on their punt, and we had great field position, and the one that cost us a touchdown. That kind of stuff we got to clean up. But get stopped and go hammer out a first down, and I just told our team, Jaquan, this was a game 2 years ago when he had that gruesome injury, and I think 2 years later, I reminded him, I guess the end of the William Mary game 1, we had to make a first. He was the guy that kind of hammered it out, and I think it was kind of fitting for him to, get that last touchdown and really finish the ball. He's going to get in victory formation, which was great for us. But again, took a lot of guys, had some guys step up. And maybe hadn't played in a couple of roles that they've been in, and getting Evan James back was big. Keith played a little bit, so hopefully we'll continue to get him better. Hopefully we'll get Ethan back, and then again, just some guys continue to step up. But so again, thrilled with the win, but we'll enjoy this one today and tonight, and then we'll come back and go work tomorrow. So with that, any questions you may have?
Coach, you've seen a lot of Furman defenses against option teams, and quite frankly shut down a lot of good option teams over the years. And I thought in the first quarter, first maybe drive for Citadel, Taylor here had kind of set the tone for defense with the stop tackle for balls. Can you tell me about how y'all approach this game defensively and how Taylor's impact on it?
Well, certainly those guys on defense deserve a ton of credit. I think it starts with Dwayne and what they've done over the years. When we were playing this multiple times a year, even the way we practice, we kind of, it's funny, we have a different way we practice against these teams and against maybe the air raid high tempo teams. And so they've got a good system in place, and so I think it starts there, and then so we get multiple, maximize our reps, and then I think just having a really good plan that allowed our guys to go play fast. It's funny, we didn't really get hurt with the fake you out home run type throws. We let the go routes run by us. I won't slant and go, but we got to stop that. We let that happen too many times. But just their inability to run the ball, kick it up inside. I think most of the rushing yards probably came off from scrambles or quarterback draw, which you knew they were going to get a few yards doing that. But I'm with you. I thought they played, up 9-0. It felt like this should have been about a 17-0 game, at the half. And then certainly not happy with how we started in the third quarter, but they played really well in the fourth quarter.
Taylor, I think we were kind of chatting in here before, and you were saying that you've never really faced an option. So what's it like preparing for that during the week, and what's the difference in like real time and real action? Is it a lot faster and then easy to adjust?
The way we practice, shout out our scout team. They gave us a great look all week. So when we went out there, it was slow motion. Like we knew exactly what we was gonna get. Everybody played gap sound. That's all the option. Stopping the option is about. Everybody playing gap sound, doing their job. So it might look like I made a play, but you look inside, it's a D-line holding this gap, make the run bounce, and I just happen to be there. So it takes a group effort from everybody. So I think we played very well, very prepared, great game.
Hey John, I said this. I think certainly it's being sound with Sam. You got to be in attack mode. You really do. You got to be the aggressor. You got to, because they're an aggressive group the way they play. And I thought we were the aggressors. A good bit of the day, and really both sides of the ball. I think that was really kind of the difference in the game.
Jaquan, obviously a good, really good, solid team victory today, like most victories are. But if I may ask you about your personal journey for the last 2 years, having the disappointment of being hurt and injured for the year and then out for all of 24 of the injury, and to come back this year be a difference maker from game one, but then kind of saved your best for the day, 2 touchdowns and a key 2-point conversion play. Just talk about what it means to you to get back to this level of play.
Obviously, it means a lot to just be able to prove to myself and others that it is possible, and also like a testament of my faith to still trust God with the plan even when it's up in the air. And I think today showed how sovereign He is, because it's the team that took me out 2 years ago, and I come back and have one of my best games of my career. And I think just God has His hand on my shoulder. I'm just blessed to be in this culture, in this locker room with these coaches and team that just felt like a family to me throughout the whole process. They kept giving confidence and just kept keeping my head up, honestly, and I'm just blessed to be here.
And for both of you guys and for Coach as well, to be able to get a win like this in front of that homecoming crowd out there, how much extra juice did you guys have out there today?
We had a lot of juice. The fans were electric. The bands, just like the whole festivities was awesome to see. Homecoming last night was awesome. We got to speak a little bit on stage just to let the super section know that for Paladins need y'all out there. We love the support. We love the energy they bring.
Yeah, the fans, they brought great energy. I mean, students, everybody brought great energy. But I mean, I looked around, even on the sideline, like players, we was all juiced up. We brought great energy today, and I mean, that set the tone for the whole game. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Really for me, really the last 2 home games, here in East Tennessee game, but that's as good as I remember it being in quite a while. So, yeah, and it certainly helps. It does. These guys, they work their tails off in the classroom and do the things they do practice-wise, and it's nice to be in that environment. Certainly homecoming crowd. And the oldest rival, certainly thrilling to get a big win.
This was a game, I know you talked about it earlier last week, that there's been a tendency to play the first half well or the second half well. You utterly dominated the first quarter and won the first half, but didn't have that much to show for it. Then, what it seems to me is admirable is weathering the storm. When the Citadel came out and ran that trick play and got behind, it was like the whole game flipped. And when you're the other team, you've got to reestablish authority, and it's not just something you go out and do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there for the half, the whole little, series of events with the field goal, the jump offs, well, even prior to that, we were going to go. I thought it was 4th and 1. I initially was told 4th and 1, and then the more I looked at it, it was closer to 2. And I just said, either way, where you get touchdown, field goal, you have 2 scores. That time they hadn't done anything offensively. I just felt like I wanted to go up 2 scores, and then again have confidence we'd get stopped, and even the little muddle huddle play, they do that a lot. We practiced it a lot. They didn't really do it. They just ran by us down there, and threw the ball down the field. But yeah, again, credit our guys. We were ready for that stuff. We were ready for all the fakes, and didn't get any of those. I thought the kicking game was big. Really the drive when we pinned them down. I think they got a penalty, but we then held them 3rd and out, and they punted to us, got short field, and went right down and scored. So again, we just got to continue to play complementary football. But yeah, just because you can sit there and it was what it was. We give up two balls over our head in a span of what? I think they scored. We went 3 and out, and then they scored again. Is that what it was? So, and from that point on, I thought we kind of controlled the game. We did get some points, moved the field a couple of times.
Coach, you've seen some depth really show up this year in some areas, defensive line, and today, your backfield. You got Jaquan out there performing at a high level, just really makes a difference in the game. And then Ben Croasdale, who hadn't played a whole lot until a couple weeks ago, had some late duty against Western Carolina, but he's out there making key plays along with Jaquan. So I know you got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, it's funny. Ben Croasdale, and these guys tell you this. Every time he goes in there, he seems to do something good. And I don't care if it was at Ole Miss at the end of the game a year ago. He's just kind of a guy that's productive. He plays really fast. He's got some talent. I kind of hated when he got called back. Probably would have put him over 100 yards for the day. Not to mention, I'd like to have the touchdown. But yeah, I think a lot of it is certainly at receiver position. You know, we lost Eli Brasher. He wasn't available much in the second half. And, you know, between Chase Gregoric and Jaden and Davis Watson, you know, we still had three guys there that had played a bunch of football. So it felt like we had three, and those guys were really solid all day. So, and again, defensively, I think we've continued to play a lot of guys, which has helped us. You know, again, long year, a lot of guys beat up, but again, we'll enjoy this, and we'll come back to work tomorrow. We'll have a big challenge this week again, but we'll worry about that starting tomorrow.
Coach, I've heard you speak about this many times over the years that I've had the pleasure to know you, but I know it meant a lot to you. Of 17-14, you guys get the ball back, and what do? You turn in one of those patented ball possession drives that you absolutely love. I know you do, because I heard you talk about it a gazillion times. 10 plays, 80 yards. You burn up clock, you stick it in the end zone, basically game's over.
Yeah, you know, David brought that up, and I'll be honest with you, when we took that drive and down and scored, that kind of, I've been around here so long, you have lots of flashbacks. You had kind of one of those moments where you kind of felt like, you know, certainly, I'd about to say we were going to kick a field goal, you know, to go about 6. Now maybe if it was just 4th and long, but no, that was impressive. Bunch of guys doing good things. It helps having a big, strong guy to hand it to, because you could tell if you know they didn't. No, I think they knew who 28 was, and they didn't seem to want to tackle him quite like they would some other guys. So, no, I mean, I think anytime you can do that, and then again for a defense to go get a stop, and then I don't know, we were up 2 scores. I wasn't sure. I told Justin I wasn't sure they would not use their timeouts. I actually thought they would use them. So well, let's go make a first down. It won't matter. So be able to hammer that one out. That's a fun way to end it.
Coach, how important was it there at the end for Trey and James to get the ball rolling in that drive?
Oh,
and then also
that was huge. You know, I've seen more of those chunk plays start to show up, particularly in the run game, in the last few weeks. And again, I think Trey had a really solid day. I think probably other than holding the ball on a sack that he shouldn't have taken, and then we had a mental bust on a route on the other one that he was ready to throw it out there, and he wasn't there to throw it to. I thought he was really solid, took care of the ball. I don't think other than I wish he'd, I don't know who caught the ball going in on the go-ahead drive, but should have been a walk-in touchdown. He did make a real good throw. I think maybe Evan had to, Evan definitely had to make a harder catch. I'd like to make that one a little bit easier, but then, we're able to pound it in, and then Jaquan got the 2-point play. But yeah, that was a huge play. He's that guy, you know, and been a month today, I think, when he got hurt, so it was great to get him back.
Coach, in this little slump, the past 2 games, Ian Williams hadn't really been a factor because of the score and everything, but obviously his scoring was awfully important today. It's the first half, and then I thought he was punting well, and I thought once again Caleb Easterling on special teams was.
Well, these guys will tell you, we've been looking for a gunner all year. You know, that outside guy that goes coach punting. I think he's had 2 TFLs on punting. You realize how hard that is to do. I mean, Taylor returns punts. He'll tell you that's hard to do, but man, he's really showing up. You know, he's a guy that I guess it was his 2nd game now he's played. So yeah, we're gonna redshirt him. You know, we got to figure out these next weeks how we're which games we're going to use him. You know, not burn the year. But he's done a good job on some returns. I think we'll continue to get a couple of guys back, but yeah, Caleb's done a great job. And, it's funny. I think Caleb doing that is funny. I've seen some other guys kind of maybe try to match. They're sitting there watching and thinking, I can do that, or I need to be doing that. And so we need to continue to get more of those guys doing that. Oh, and yeah, Ian. I mean, golly, you're right. Probably should have given him some opportunities the last couple of weeks, and we didn't do it. Just the way games went. But man, he's just like I said, you just don't. It'll make every one of them, man. You just don't really even think about it. I was looking a couple of times at one of those drives. I knew how long it was going to be to even make a kick go up by 6, and so we were already talking about. I try to give Justin a little bit of head up on some 4-down deals so he can can call it a little different if he knows he's got another play. But yeah, I mean, just dependable. Those kickoffs, and he's punted the ball really well, you know. And again, that was big today. Flipping, you know, their guy's been phenomenal through his whole career. And but he and again, I thought we did a really terrific job covering too.
Jake, just kind of what was asked earlier about the 10-play 80-yard drive. It seemed like the offense right there they knew what was coming as far as running, and you guys knew what you were doing. Talk about, you know, feeling the momentum of that, you know, the wave of momentum on your side, and seeing maybe them, you know, relent a little bit on their side. Is that the first time you've had that feeling this year, maybe?
A word coach brought up a lot even before we went out there was confidence, and the word swagger, and that how we need to play more of that, because we're a talented team. To get back to how the first half of the season we had a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger, we have to get back to that. Just like I think that 10-play drive showed it, of how us feeling like grooves, like you said, and getting knowing that this is the play that's going to work and we're going to execute our job no matter what is asked of us. And I would shout out Ben Crozell for like just stepping up, and just that guy has played a lot, and just having confidence in himself to go out there and make the plays that coach calls.
A pet topic of mine is that everybody in sports overreacts. You weren't as bad as it seemed when PC upset you. You weren't as good as when you won afterwards. You weren't as bad as Western Carolina and Wofford. And all of this evens out. But I mean, it can add up on you if you don't keep your nose to the grindstone and separate it. And that to me is what this game was. And so this was a game where you went out and played, you had some adversity, and you reacted well to it. But that's what the sport is like. I believe writers, we overreact. Players overreact. The fans damn sure overreact. And so, you know, you got to keep your head about you, because you're not as bad as you were in your worst, and you're not as good as you are at your best.
Well, I'll tell you this. I got told, because right before the game we were talking. I don't know Coach real well, but I like him, respect him, and I know a number of guys on their staff. And you know, I kind of think our whole league this year, it's every game's about 4 or 5 plays. Really are the difference makers in the game. Now, you turn it over a bunch, or you do some things to beat yourself. Yeah, it cannot be about 4 or 5 plays. And I think if you kind of go back even through this game, you know, kind of had control, and then a couple plays, but really, I just think that's kind of the idea. So I think that's how it'll be next week. You know, if both sides do what they're supposed to do. So you just got to hang in there. You don't know when they're going to be. You just got to hang in there, keep kind of, you know. I can be the worst one about you know, letting things bother you. But at the end of the day, control what you can control. These guys have been working really good. We practice good. We can practice better. We can coach better. There's a lot of things we can do better. But man, this group of kids is just what makes it all worthwhile. I know for me, just what they stand for and how everything they do. And yeah, even when it doesn't go real well, they're fun to be around. So we'll continue. We'll stick together. And I think we've done that, and we'll have another big challenge next week.
All right.
Anything? Thank you, guys.